Bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Baltimore with a chance to win and potentially make the playoffs.
And
That's
I hope
what's
the
important.
snow's flying everywhere.
And my question is this: take the Steelers out of the equation. Look at the other things that need to happen for the Steelers to make the playoffs. Do you think any of those other things happen?
Who knows? It's the NFL, man. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
Who saw the Cardinals beating the Eagles in Philadelphia last week?
I mean,
Who saw that
the Cardinals. The Cardinals have 4 wins this year. I didn't check what the 4th one was, but they're the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, every week there's something crazy that goes on. So to say, oh, could it, what it, who knows? You know what? The Steelers have one job this week.
Win the freaking game.
Take care of their business.
Yeah.
Whatever happens with everybody else, if it happens and things fall the Steelers' way, great. If they don't, you know what? We'll be here again next week to talk about how it didn't go their way.
Yeah. Well, remember 2 years ago, a terrible Jacksonville team that was potentially playing for the number 1 overall pick beat the Colts that put the Steelers in the playoff.
Right. So,
almost didn't, because then there was almost a tie on Sunday Night Football.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You remember that
kind
but
of stuff.
If there's a tie on Saturday Night Football, the Steelers are in if they win. If right. With that one. So There's a couple things. Could Tennessee beat Jacksonville? They could. I mean, Tennessee didn't look that great this past week, but they looked decent the week before. You never know what you're getting with them. Jacksonville's really been up and down. Buffalo, they blew the doors off the Cowboys, but have not looked very good since.
Just, yeah.
Who knows? Miami's beat up. You just don't know.
Right.
So
Miami's
bottom line is,
but that game matters because the East is still on the line.
Yeah.
Who knows? How about this? How about the Steelers could lose and still get in?
I know that was the next thing I was going to say. How crazy is it? The Steelers don't control their own destiny. They could even lose and still make it.
That's insanity. When I saw that, I was just like, what?
The thing is because the Broncos can't make the playoffs now because of the tiebreakers. But if they end up with a tied record for that last spot, that gives the Steelers the tiebreaker over other teams by putting the Broncos in the mix. That's
crazy.
Why. Yes. So all these crazy things. Bottom line is, number one thing, and that's why I'm so glad it's the very first thing of the weekend. Some people don't like it. I love it. You don't have to worry about what's happening otherwise. Like last year, the Steelers are playing in week 17. Who were they? Oh, they were playing the week 18. Who were they even playing?
I don't even remember.
It was the Browns. Yeah, it was the Browns. And I'm watching. I'm at Jefferson Hartman's house.
Yeah, it was the Browns.
I'm at Jeff Hartman's house watching the game, while also on my phone watching the Jets and Dolphins, because that game was just as important. And that's when Joe Flacco still sucked and could not win it for the Steelers to go to the playoffs. Which is funny because Bob Labriola said Joe Flacco was out of the NFL for 20 months. I'm like, he kept the Steelers from going to the playoffs last year because he couldn't win for the Jets. He hasn't been out that long. But anyway, I kind of like it that you could completely focus on the Steelers game, even though they have the same officiating crew that officiated the Cowboys and Lions games.
Hey, and believe it or not, there's not going to be anything else I'm going to be wanting to do at that time on Saturday, because how much snow did you say they're calling for down your way?
Right now they're even saying it could be 5 to 8. It might fizzle to be nothing, but still.
Yeah, right now we could get 6 to 12.
Yeah, so you could just settle in and watch the Steelers play, right?
That's right.
As long as you don't lose power. So it really does come down to what the Steelers do on Saturday. And, I said this before last week. I'm like, if the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, Would you much rather see them do it by taking down some quality opponents? Like, I don't care if the Ravens play their players or not. I still think the Steelers can hang with. They already beat them once this year. They're familiar enough that the Steelers aren't going to be intimidated by what the Ravens have been doing over the last however many games. They're not going to be intimidated by that. They're the team that they've already played once this year. So whether or not they play their guys, we'll see. I don't care. Part of me almost is like, bring them on. Because if the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, make it in a way to show that you could beat anybody if you get there.
Yep.
So bottom line is, go win the game. All right, Rich, give us your total so we can get everybody else to get out of here. Which, by the way, I should tell you, the odds makers are not expecting the Ravens to play their players. Let's see if the line's changed. At one point, the Steelers were favored by 3.5, and they are still favored right now by 3.5, according to DraftKings.
Okay. I reserve the right, of course, to potentially change mine in the staff picks article because right now there are an awful lot of question marks going on, especially with the Ravens.
Yes.
So that being said, I'm going to go out on a limb here and kind of say, you know what? I think we see the starting Ravens offense for 2 series.
Okay. That would be about a quarter, probably.
About a quarter. And if that is the case, I think that makes this a much closer, a very, very close game in the end. The other thing that worries me is the Steelers and backup quarterbacks for the Ravens.
Yeah.
They tend to play worse against the backups. I was
there with the Ryan Mallett debacle.
Yeah. Although the Steelers often, though, play a lot better against the Ravens with their backups as well, a.k.a. Charlie Batch going into Baltimore. And, so who knows where that's going to go. In the end, wow, I expect a close one. But I'm actually going to go 24-23 Ravens on a last-second field goal.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you picked against the Steelers a lot recently, so you gotta stay with it almost, right?
Yeah, but it's but I'm reserving the right to change that because if we start hearing things, kind of who's going to play or not play or things like that, could really impact how you pick this game. So
yep. So this will be interesting to see. Afton Forage, she's got 37-13 Ravens. Okay. Where Thomas Riley, he's not going with the tie again. He's going Steelers 34, Ravens 30. He hopes. Okay. Remember, if you don't put a team with your score, we assume you mean Steelers, but we'll see how these go. Steel Dog 88 has 24-19 Steelers, and then Jacksonville's lose to the Titans to put the Steelers in. Brian Brown, it skipped on me. Where'd he go? Sorry. I'll come back to that one, John. Brian Brown has starter 17-16 Steelers. Backups 27-20 Steelers. All right. There you go. Frosty the Bear has 16-13 in overtime. That's what it was in what year was that? Was that 2020? Was that 2021? 2021. Yeah, I don't remember. When they won in Baltimore in overtime.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that might have been. I don't know. Or maybe that was 20. I don't know. They lost in 20. I can't remember. One of those in there. I'm getting all my years mixed up. That might have been the one I was talking about when I said they finished up when I was at Jeff's house. I can't remember. No, last year was against the Browns. It was the Ravens year before. Okay. Richard Adamson says 23-20 Steelers. Steelers Pittsburgh says 17-13 Steelers. Outside Steeler fan says good guys 24-10. Said that the defense is going to 10 points, holding them to 10 points both games. That'd be pretty good. Seth Phillips has 28-10 Steelers. Russ wasn't here at the beginning, I don't think, when we talked about how there's some cheap tickets to the game. Russ says he's going to be at the game.
Represent Russ.
Yep. And see, that's the other thing. Do the Ravens it's really important that we've been on such a big roll that we keep that roll going. But you also got to say, do we kill that roll if one of our main guys gets hurt? It's a tough one. Jeremiah Yoder has 34-17.
Or do you
Steelers.
kill that roll if you roll with your guys and still
and they lose?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay. Tom Vallejo has 33, Ravens, Steelers 13. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to be a blowout game. I mean, I guess it could. You just never know. Does the Steelers offense run out or something at some point? I don't know. Harvey Stone has 27-21 Steelers. Mark Malone has 34-17 Steelers. Okay. Gavin Anthony says, if the Ravens rest their starters, Steelers 21-17. If they don't, he has the Ravens 35-10. Mr. Woodside has 22-20. For Steelers, a lot of snow would make it 20-16 Steelers. George Stein has 24-21 Steelers. Kevin Brokenborough has Steelers 27, Ravens 17. There's Russ's score, Steelers 30-20. What's big is 31-20 Steelers. Jerry Cherryman, thanks for the great music. Steelers 24-20. Javier Mori. I hope I said the last name right. 21-17 Ravens. Jamie Carlo has 30-21 Steelers. M. Marcus 39. He thinks Mason's going over 300 in the snow. He has Steelers 36-21. I'd take that one. David Poe has 19-16 in overtime for the Steelers. Victory Asher has 26-17 Steelers. Steelers Reaper has 24-13 Dirty Birds. Ronan has 27-20 Steelers. Steelers Freak has 31-17 Steelers. And he has Mason going huge with 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
Not if it's snowing.
Bring on the controversy, right? Sherry Richards has 27-21 Steelers. Steeler Chick 46 has 24-21 Steelers. He has Tucker missing a field goal. Hashtag Boz is better than Tucker. Love it. Do you see any more scores? Lots of good discussion. I think that's the last score we got.
I think that was the last score.
Rich, what? Oh, wait. I got one more.
Let's see. You got one.
Nope, wait.
There you
Clicked
go.
on the wrong thing because it skipped on me. George, is that
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man has 17-11 Steelers. Here's the thing, Rich. I almost don't want to think about it. This could be the last time we're talking about upcoming scores. Oh,
which is why
Deb
you got to get
has
this
20.
one.
That's 30-27 Steelers. I'm not even going to try to say that last name. I'll screw it up. Thanks, Deb. I don't like thinking about it, but it's a possibility. Steelers could win the game, and it could still be their last one of the season. But once again, we could talk about what woulda, coulda, shoulda during the season to not put the Steelers in this position right now. But we're going to have a long time in the offseason to talk about that. Right now, let's see this team go out. Let's see them run the football. Let's see them have a balanced offensive attack. Let's see them play some complementary football, offense to defense like they've been playing. I just want to see more of the same like I've been seeing the last 2 weeks because, my goodness, hasn't that been fun and exciting football to watch?
Been the most fun all year has been the last 2 weeks. It has been.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Yeah. Yep. Javier asked a question real quick before we move on because they talk about Bills lose or Jags lose. They don't both have to happen, only one, because either the Texans or the Colts have to lose because they play each other, unless they tie, and then the Steelers make it in if they win, because a tie would even be better. So, Rich, first time in 2023. Sorry, first time in 2024. I screwed that one up. I almost said the last time for 2023 season. We don't know if that's the case or not. What do you have to say to send us out here tonight?
Okay. Run late, so we're going to keep it short and sweet. Okay. Happy New Year to all of our fans out there on SCN. We appreciate you. We've had a good year this past year and hope to keep bringing you guys great content in 2024. come Saturday, it's probably going to be snowing like the dickens here at my house. I will actually give an update. I will actually give a storm update as the game is going on in the knee-jerk reaction article. I will let everybody know how much snow has fallen, and what is going on outside, and tell you what's going on here on the western part of the state, as compared to what we are seeing on television with the weather, with the Steelers and the Ravens. I'm going to stay here nice and snug in my house, and sit on the couch and watch the game. And hopefully Kyle will watch with me. I bet he starts with a banishment of himself to the basement and then comes upstairs again like he did last week. I didn't banish him last week. He banished himself and then asked if he could come up. I expect to see that again, but it's going to be a lot of fun. How happy am I? Because I did not expect the Steelers to be playing a meaningful football game this week. A couple weeks ago, I thought it was done. I thought it was over. The Steelers have proved us all wrong, and here we are, week 18, playing for a chance for the Steelers to get into the playoffs. Can't wait.